Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Viewers, you are welcome to the program Question Time, and I am your host Dure Shawal Zaidi. Viewers, you can watch this program every Saturday 5 to 6 p.m. And in this program we discuss the issues on Islamic principles, but since we are living in the days of Ayam-e-Fatimiyya, so today we will be discussing the life of Bibi Fatimat al-Zahra, and since our Maulana is here to answer our questions, so and also he is the guest of our program. So before I move forward to the program, I would also request you to the telephone lines are open, so you can call us live and share your views and be a part of our discussion. And then before I move forward to the program, first I would like to introduce you to our guests present in our studios. Maulana Abbas Mirza. Assalamu alaikum, Maulana Sahab.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
And welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for inviting.
So Maulana Sahab, today since we are living in the days of Ayam-e-Fatimiyya, so I would just request you to shed some light on this pious Bibi, and then tell our viewers about her life, and how can we call her as a role model for us today.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, wa bihi nasta'in wa huwa khairu nasirin wa mu'in, wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi at-tahirin wa la'anatu ad-da'im ala a'dahim ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum to all our viewers, and our condolences upon the shahadat of Siddiqa Kubra, to the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and to all those who are watching and following us on Saturdays. Indeed, the days are the days of Fatimiyya, the days of the martyrdom of Siddiqa Kubra, and apparently these nights are of more emphasis compared to the first 10 nights of Fatimiyya, because of certain traditions that point out to and describe the time the martyrdom or the shahadat occurred. Yes, as you said, she is indeed a role model, been mentioned by our 12th Imam. There is a hadith that comes from our 12th Imam where he says that the daughter of the Prophet is a role model for me. So even 12th Imam, he is saying that Siddiqa Kubra is the role model.
So not only for women, also for men she is a role model, not only for
yes, she is role model for men and women both.
Humanity.
Because she has reached the daraja of Kamal and perfection and wilayat, which really points out to that she becomes the role model for all, just as how Prophet is the role model for men and women both, although being a man, but he's a role model for women as well. And same applies for her. She is the role model for men and women both. And what a great honor for her that an Imam Masoom, an Imam who's Khalifatullah, an Imam who's the representative of God, he is saying that she is my role model as well.
Subhanallah.
Her being a role model could be divided into three categories. The first category is beyond our understanding, beyond our experience, beyond our possibility to make her a role model, which points out to her sublime station, where we recite in the ziyarat of Siddiqa Kubra that, oh, Allah have tested you before even you were born. For instance, that is the Alam-e-Arwah, that is the Alam-e-Nur, where she is the Muhammadan light, where she is the first light, where she is the first creation. In this situation, obviously, that cannot be a role model as such for us. For example, you have a very fascinating tradition from the Prophet, which mentions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if it wasn't for the Prophet, the creation wouldn't have been created.
Definitely.
And then Allah addresses to the Prophet and he says, Lawla Ali lima khalaqtuk. if it wasn't for Ali, the Prophet wouldn't have been created. And then the hadith continues, and it says, Allah says that Lawla Fatima lima khalaqtukuma. If it wasn't for Fatima, both of them wouldn't have been created. So this points out to that sublime maqam where she is Abiha. Obviously, when she is the source of creation for the Prophet, that means she is the mother of the Prophet. You know, the mother is the source of creation. The mother is the source of mercy. You know, the mother is the source of sustenance, source of guidance, and source of everything. Whatever good that a man receives, you know, in this dunya and also in the hereafter is from the mother. So therefore, you know, she is known as Abiha, as one of the titles. So obviously in this case, you know, she cannot be considered as a role model as such. You know, the daughters of ours are not really mothers of ours. It was only Fatima who was the mother of the Prophet. How uniquely some of the scholars have described, for example, Siddiqa Kubra is the daughter of the Prophet, and Prophet is the Rahmatul lil Alameen, and mother is the mercy. Now she is the mother of the Prophet in terms of the title. So her mercy is multiplied by twice, and no wonder she's been given the authority of intercession. You know, she has the authority to intercede, to forgive. And one of the names of Siddiqa Kubra is also Fatima, which means that she will be the one who will pick her lovers from the hellfire, just like how a hen or a rooster, a bird, you know, picks the food grains from the mud. You know how it picks wherever the food is. So that's one of the title of Fatima, is someone where she will pick up her lovers from the hellfire, and she will not enter, according to the tradition, says that she will not enter paradise until, you know, all of her lovers is forgiven, and they enter the Jannah. So some of the qualities and maqamat that she has is beyond consideration of ours being as a role model. You know, for another hadith of Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam in regards to her maqam, where Hazrat Imam says that we are the proof of God for mankind, for the creation. You know, we are the hujjat. And Fatima is our hujjat. So the hujjat of the Imam is Fatima. Hujjat and hujjiyat, which points out to the baqa, which points out to the subsistence, or subsistence of a creation. The creation subsists, the creation is alive, the creation is there because of the hujjat who is alive. The 12th Imam, he is alive. As he is alive, the creation will be alive. Otherwise the creation will eat itself. The creation will not exist. There will be no gravity. Just like how gravity is for earth to keep things in its place. If there is no gravity, there is no life. So in the same fashion, if there is no Imam who's alive, there will be no creation. The creation will have no purpose. So the same way as Imam is considered as the hujjat for the creation, which means that Imam is the channel of grace. Imam is the medium through which Hidayat, through which mercy, is through which rizq, through which every knowledge, you know, whatever you perhaps may imagine, is received through the Imam. Our du'as are answered through the Imam. Our sustenance is given through the Imam. Our life, that's why we do tawassul to the Imam on the night of Qadr,
yes.
Right? So therefore, Imam is hujjat for the creation, the creation is baqi because of him, and the Imam is saying Fatima is hujjat for us.
Subhanallah.
So the baqa of imamat, the baqa of an Imam is through Fatima,
MashaAllah.
because she is the one who was able to discern between haqq and batil in a more clarifying way than any of them, any of the masoom, because she laid the foundation of haqq and batil because of what she faced after the demise of the Prophet, which we'll look into in the future part of the show. So the first category, which is basically for us that we cannot really comprehend, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا فَاطِمَةٌ, really one will not be able to really know who Fatima is. Dr. Ali Shariati,
like beyond our imagination, like we
that's
cannot
right.
imagine what her status actually is.
Yes. Dr. Ali Shariati was invited in a seminar on Siddiqa Kubra, and then many scholars went there and they presented their papers, and he says that I was just thinking that how to introduce her. Shall I say that she is the daughter of the Prophet? Shall I say that she is the wife of Imam Ali? Shall I say that she is the mother of Hassan and Hussein? I mean, I thought all of that, and I said that all of these are not really able to define who Fatima is.
Indeed.
Then he says Fatima is Fatima. That's what I could say. So there's a book by Dr. Ali Shariati which is known as Fatima is Fatima, a very interesting work of his, marhum. May Allah grant him Jannah. So here, so that aspect of Siddiqa Kubra is beyond our comprehension. So that cannot be taken as being a role model for us. The second category of her being taken as a role model could relate to or will not relate to her life as well, the time that she lived in. For example, she was someone who would use a rock grinder to grind the wheat. She would sleep on the floor, for example, on a
animal
mat.
Skin. They had animal skin.
So I mean, to follow, for us to really follow that, we have grinders, we have all of these different technology. This doesn't really make sense that we take her, because she's the role model, and she grind her wheat by through that sort of mechanism of that time, that tool of two stones, right? So we will do the same. We will not do. So even this aspect of her being role model is also not possible. But for instance, one could say that okay, she would work one day and she would ask Fizza to work the other day, although Fizza was the slave of her. Fizza was the worker, but she will do one day the job that Fizza was doing, and she would ask Fizza to rest, but and then she will work the other day, right? So she would share the amount of work that she does at home or with her workers, with those who work under her, right? She, in terms of generosity, how generous she was, that when somebody comes to the Prophet said, go to the house of Fatima, knowing that she would give whatever she has. This way she becomes the role model. And how caring she was to the neighbors, how she would remember others in prayers, and by remembering others in prayers, her needs are fulfilled. She was caring for others. That is very famous hadith. It's good to remind our viewers and us as well that when she would do dua, she would take the name of all of them. Then Imam Hassan and Mushtawa will inquire her that what about us? Then she would say that once I take all of the names of others, then is your turn. Her own. So it just shows that how distant we are when we. First of all, we do not have much of a time to really do dua. After our wajib prayer, our sajdas are so little that we don't have
always
time for that.
Always in a hurry to finish the prayer and get to some other work.
Exactly. And even if that little time that we have, we would obviously ask for ourselves. We want this, that, and the other. Or if we are facing, if we hear someone who is close to us is ill, for example, we would rather, if they have insisted, forced us, texted us, asked us, called us,
yes, then
please remember, yes, in our dua, then we'll remember that person, right?
Yes.
And that happens once in a blue moon, so to speak, once in a while.
Once in a while,
oh, he's having an operation, oh, let's just do his dua for him. Or we do dua and then it's over. We don't even, bother to call and ask how is he doing, what happened,
never.
Visit him, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
so
because we have become so materialistic these days, like it's so, difficult to as you said, to follow the. We need to follow the character of Bibi Fatima Zahra, not the thing that she was grinding the wheat and between the stones and she was sleeping on the animal. The character is there which needs to be followed. The character of Bibi Fatima Zahra.
That's right, exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite unfortunate that she hasn't been introduced the way she should have been introduced. Her khutbas, her sermons, and great amount of marifat, technicalities exist within her sermons. So therefore, these are the nights, these are the days to really come to a greater and closer understanding. She is not only a role model, or she doesn't only lays the path for ummah, for the nation of Islam, for the Muslims at that time, when she was alive, but even today, the path, she is the guide. When she goes in support of wilayat, she was the one who went houses to houses and reminded people of the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib.
Subhanallah.
She reminded them, right? And she went to the extent of sacrificing herself. She died because of protecting the imamat, because of protecting the wilayat. She believed what the Prophet have given is haqq and truth, and the wilayat, the imamat and the khilafat of Amirul Mu'mineen, and she stood for it.
We can also call her the savior of the wilayat of Imam Ali.
Exactly. That's why we say that she laid
Otherwise
the foundation.
There would have been any wilayat if she would have sacrificed her life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she sacrificed her life. She sacrificed her children for it. Her daughters for it, so that the imamat, so that the wilayat remains. So that the true deen of Islam remains that we have today. So and today, remembering her really points out to the foundation of that haqq and batil, to really study and look into. Where is the grave of Fatima? The Prophet. You have the grave of the Prophet. You have the grave of the wives of the Prophet. You have the grave of the companions of the Prophet. The Prophet who had only one daughter, where is the grave of her? Nobody really knows. It's really hidden. Why is it hidden? Such a great personality, such a great person. Nobody knows where the daughter of the Prophet, where she is buried, right? What happened in history in regards to her. So therefore, these are the days and nights to really look into. Now, that's the third aspect of her life, the third category,
okay,
which becomes
I think
the role
we should
model.
Take a break, and then we can continue after the break the third aspect of her life, as you said. So we'll go on for a break,
sure.
And then we'll come back.
Thank you.
So viewers, we are going for a break, and then we'll be back. Don't forget to watch us. We'll be right back.